Hello everybody, it's Jack here from Minnelli Studio Entertainment, and I'm here to show you another pickup video. And this one is all about Star Wars. Yes, I've been going Star Wars crazy the past couple weeks for, I don't know why. I just love Star Wars, and I go into phases of things. And right now I'm in a Star Wars phase. I'm reading the comics, reading some books. I'm watching the Clone Wars. I watched the 2003 Clone Wars. I watched Rogue One. I'm going to watch all the films again. And yeah, right now I'm in a Star Wars mood. So with that being said, let me show you what I got. And it's pretty cool. So first up, I got 2 Star Wars omnibuses from Dark Horse. So not the Marvel ones. These are all the comics I hear are actually the Dark Horse comics, because Marvel does not do a great job reprinting them, and the ones they do are the omnibus. They're big ones, not these tiny ones. And those are way too much money for me. I am on a budget, and this is a little too much already. So with that being said, let me show you. I got 2 of them. I got Star Wars Embassies and Assassins, and Quinlan Voss, Jedi in Darkness. So here's 2. So these books mostly reprint the Star Wars 1999 book that became the Republic book. That's where the Clone Wars multimedia project comics were for the most part, and Quinlan Voss, which is one of the main characters. And this is written by John Ostrander. And anybody knows about comics knows about John Ostrander, and he's one of the best comic book writers of the 1980s, 90s, and went to Dark Horse in the 2000s and did a lot of cool Star Wars stuff, mostly with this character right here, Quinlan Voss. And yeah, I am loving it. I'm reading this one already, a little more than halfway through. The main writer of this book is Tim Truman, who is mostly known for being an artist. He was an artist with John Ostrander, I believe, actually, back in the DC days in the 80s. I believe so, yeah. Hawkworld? Was Hawkworld John Ostrander? Someone fact-checked me down there. And he writes this, and this is mostly about Ki-Adi-Mundi and his new Padawan, who is a sand person, and that's pretty awesome. I'm loving it. I'm loving this book so much. I read the first 6 issues also on the Marvel Unlimited app, because those aren't collected here for some reason. And yeah, these are great, great artwork. I know people don't really love these size, but I like them. You know, they're relatively affordable. These are $25 each, and they're extremely out of print. So, yeah. I'm happy I got these, and these are great. If you haven't read them, you should. If you have, let me know. Speaking about great comic books, this is from a series that is phenomenal, right? High regard. Those books are kind of regarded, especially the Ostrander ones, but this is highly, highly regarded. And that is, you might know this one, the Knights of the Old Republic books. And I got volume 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10. You thought I was going to say 5, right? Nah, and 10. I saw these were on sale at one of my comic book stores, about a little more than half off each, and these books are so hard to find now. They're getting reprinted soon in an omnibus, along with other works such as like the Dawn of the Jedi, which is by Ostrander, and the Tales of the Jedi, which are all phenomenal books as well. But Knights of the Old Republic is obviously connected to the Knights of the Old Republic video game, but it takes place about 5 years prior to the events of the game. And yeah, it's written by, what's his name? John Jackson Miller, who is a big Star Wars writer. He wrote the Kenobi book and Knight Errant, which is connected to this series. Knight Errant, not Kenobi. And he still writes for the new canon today. And he's wrote many books. He wrote last year the Batman Resurrection book. So he's a big multimedia writer, but this is probably his best comic book work. And I am going to pick up all these volumes. I have a store that has them besides one volume, but that's fine. You know, do what you can, but I'm so happy I got these. And after I'm done with the Republic era stuff, I'm probably going to go back to this stuff because I love the original era. The original trilogy is my favorite of all the films, right? But my favorite era to read are the ones around it, right? I don't really care about reading the Luke stories, the Han stories of that era, but I like the Luke and Han stories of the, after Empire. I mean, after Returns. So, like the Thrawn trilogy and the New Jedi Order. That stuff I'm interested in, and I like the stuff prior. So I don't love the prequels themselves, but I love that era. I love what that era is, what's happening there. And I love the Clone Wars era and that battle. And I love the Knights of the Old Republic. I love the Dawn. I love the lore, right? So I'm so happy I got these. And I can't wait to show you the rest of them when I get them. I got some books, right? Got some books. Like I said, New Jedi Order. I got the trilogy right here. The first three. It's not a trilogy. Vector Prime, Dark Tide's Onslaught, Dark Tide's Ruin. This is the first one's by R.A. Salvatore, who some of you might know for the Legend of Drix series. And then this is, the other two are written by Mike A. Stackpole, who I actually got another book of his. I was so lucky to find this at a Barnes & Noble. This is Star Wars Rogue Squadron. This is the first book of it, and I am excited to read this. I want to read this one so badly. I hear this series itself is one of the best. I haven't read it, but I hear it's really good, and I can't wait to read it. And I know there's the movie coming out, but I don't really care about that. This stuff is supposed to be good, and Michael A. Stackpole wrote it, and he wrote one of these, so I was like, oh, I probably should get this before I read these. All right, here's what I got. What do you think? Have you read any of these works before? Are you a Star Wars Expanded Universe fan? If you are, let me know what your favorite Star Wars Expanded Universe material is. Is it the books, the comics, the movies? I shouldn't say that. The TV shows, right? What's your favorite Expanded Universe comics? I'm going to do a list of my favorites in the future. Don't know how near, but in the future. But yeah, I'm signing off saying I'm Jack from Minnelli Studio Entertainment saying see you later. I didn't say it. You thought I was going to say it, but I wasn't going to say it. Bye.